Hey guys, my name is Coach Zach. This is Coach Colin. We're with Vero Strength Conditioning. We're going to be going over the Your Call football warm-ups. The warm-up we're going to be going into now is going to be called the speed warm-up. We're going to break it down into 4 different sections. We got movement prep, dynamic stretching, sport specific, and force. Let's get started with movement prep. Alright guys, first 2 movements of our movement prep section. You're going to have your athletes go 20 yards down and 20 yards back as usual. We'll have them start with a light jog, 20 yards down, and then they're going to do a light back pedal, 20 yards back. Have them do this for 2 sets. Moving on to our dynamic stretching portion of our speed warm-up, we're going to have Colin start off with our low karaoke. So it's a little bit different than a regular karaoke. He's not going to be lifting his legs as high on the turnover. We'll have Colin demonstrate that. Next movement in our dynamic section is going to be down and back, 20 yards. You're going to have your athletes do a figure 4. Now when Colin demonstrates this, you're going to notice he's going to be doing a quarter squat while he's crossing his ankle over his opposite leg. So you're going to have your athletes take 1 step forward and then continue to switch legs as they're going down and back. We'll have Colin demonstrate that. Final 2 movements of our dynamic stretching section. We're going to have our athletes do 20 yards down, a knee pull with a step forward, 20 yards back. We're going to have them do glute kicks. We want to have them stay at a light pace here. We're still only in the dynamic stretching portion, so just warming up. Alright guys, we can move on into our sport-specific section of our warm-up. The first movement is going to be working lateral speed and lateral quickness. What we're going to have them do is a side shuffle, but we want to move them at an elevated pace. So you want to make sure your athletes stay low to the ground, knees bent, at an athletic stance. We'll have them go down 20 yards and back 20 yards. Alright guys, next 2 movements we're going to have is going to be quick feet down 20 yards with opening up our hips left and right. So when Colin demonstrates this, you're going to see he gets his feet moving first, and then as he gets going forward, he's going to open his hips to the left, get his feet moving forward again, open his hips to the right. He's going to do that for 20 yards down. Now on the way back, he's going to do a quick feet, but he's going to do it backwards. So he's going to be doing quick feet and moving backwards. Alright, we're going to move on to our final movement of our sport-specific section. We're going to have our athletes do seated arm pumps. So have your athletes sit on the ground, legs are going to go straight out in front of them, they're keeping a good posture, and they're going to be pumping their arms at an increasing speed every 10 seconds. We'll have Colin demonstrate. So he's seated, legs straight out in front of him, he's got a good torso, tight posture, and he's going to be moving his hands to his lip and then down to his hip. Alright, so the first 10 seconds they'll go at a slow pace. After 10 seconds, they'll pick it up. And then the final 10 seconds, as fast as your athletes can go. And this is going to go help to transverse into our force section. Thank you, Colin. Guys, our final section of the speed warm-up, we're going to be going into the force section. So what you're going to have your athletes do is you're going to want to mark out 10 yards, and you're going to want to mark out 20 yards. For the first 10 yards, you're going to have your athletes do a long stride, lengthening out their stride as long as they can for 10 yards. And then the last 20 yards, they're going to go into a sprint. So they're going to do this 3 different times, and it's going to be at increasing speeds. The first time, you want to have your athletes go 60 to 75%. The next time, you're going to have your athletes go 80 to 90%. And then the last time should be a full-out effort.